welcome back to Valley Boys TCG. I am CK, and I am excited to bring you some BT13 gameplay. I know we missed out pretty much all of EX4. I was away with some family issues, and I do a lot of the editing for the channel, or pretty much all the editing for the channel. So, without further ado, we bring you Jesmon vs Mamemons. And Mamemons obviously is a pet deck of mine. It's a favorite of mine. I've been running it for a while, and I am so excited for the new support with Prince Mamemons. Now you see Jesmon went first and they bricked. We both mulliganed and he did not get any better, so he just passed turn. We get a Chicory and Raising, use the black boost to get the Thundermon out, and then we just drop a Nanimon to help us get to our level 5 and get some Mamemons rolling faster, get the ball rolling. He still has not seen a rookie, so he drops a Sistermon Blanc. Not too much to do with the effects. Oh, there we go. He drops Sister to draw 2. And then he decides to play the Disciple card there, the option to grab a Jesmon. So you can tell he's having some issues here, so we're going to try to capitalize on that as best as possible. Jesmon does have that issue. It is very combo reliant, so it can be pretty bricky. We swing in with Chicory and we see a Judgment of the Blade, I believe is the option here. So Sistermon will come out from the trash, gaining him a memory, and we got to decide what to do here. So we pop the boost, give us a 3, so we can go to Catch Mamemons here. Catch Mamemons is going to let us stack 3 Mamemons to the top of the deck. We're being strategic in how we're doing this here. So we decide to stack 3 so that we can Evo here to the Bancho for 3, draw that Prince back to hand, and then play out 2 Mamemons. Since they have 2 Digimon on board, Bancho will let me bring out 2 Digimon here. So we're setting up pretty nice now. We've got a pretty wide board. We have him chipped down to 4 security. So he goes ahead and swings on that Chicory, which is the right thing, because if it had lived, we basically had lethal next turn since he has no blockers. Because Bancho will be checking 2, and then he has 4 security. So here we decide we can clear all security here, but it is a bit risky, so we instead go for the Mamemon play. We get the Prince out, and that is going to let us bring out another Mamemon. We decide to go for the decoy in case he has some sort of removal. We can keep our Bancho or our Prince on board because they are key pieces to this strategy of spam the board, go wide, and then Bancho is obviously our aggressive play, checking 2, and Prince gives all my Mamemons jamming and reboot, which is huge addition to the deck. I am loving him more than I thought I would. There will be a deck profile coming soon, so he goes ahead and swings in. We see an Izzy, and the Izzy whiffs on taking the memory back because that is a white tamer. Yes, I do run one Ty and Matt because it pairs well with the support defeats that I play in this deck. And like I said, deck profile will be coming out soon, hopefully by the end of the week. We see him do the Chimera. Chimera is really good for Jesmon. He accidentally tucks in a level 6 Jesmon, realizes it's not a usable target, so he uses another Sistermon in the pieces, gets into Jesmon here on top of the Chimera, reducing the cost of the option, and now he's going to use Blitz to swing in for, I believe it is 2 checks, if I'm not mistaken. But either way, we are presenting lethal here, so brings out a Sistermon to gain a memory back, but we do have a memory tamer on board anyway, so that's fine. So he's just going through all the effects. Again, Jesmon does have a lot of combos, a lot of effects, so sometimes it is very easy to get lost in the sauce here. So he gains the memory, so he's checking 2, and we see a Senban Dokkan. And so now we're going to get to reveal 3 and play out 2 because it's a total play cost of 15 combined. That Mamemon is going to let us search for a tamer. We get another Izzy out, which doesn't make a difference. We're going to stack the top of the deck, gain a memory back, but it's still going to pass our turn anyway. But that's a miss right there because Senban Dokkan, when played, for each Mamemon you play by this effect, you can pop something that is 6k or less. So that Sistermon should be dead, but it doesn't matter. You see the board has gone very, very wide. We swing in for 2 checks with Bancho with jamming. Swing in the decoy, swing in a Thundermon, and then we let... Oh no, this is where we almost have an issue because we see another believe that's a judgment, which is going to let him bring out the Sister Mon Blanc. And because we missed popping that CL, we should have had game. We still have game, luckily, because he blocks with the CL that should have been dead. We got those 2 off the Senbon, and Prince can still go for game. So luckily, we were still wide enough to go around the Blanc, even though we missed the pop from the Senbon Dokkan. So here we are, game 2, and yeah, Mamemon's running really smoothly. So we see a Chicory. We decide he wants me to go first because he wants that extra card draw, because that brick was pretty rough for him. And then I just drop a 7-cost Mamemon there, putting him at 7 to start the turn. So that's going to give him a lot of options, and he does have a rookie. So here we see him building in the background. We see the Bow Huck, and he goes all the way to Savior Huck and Raising, and still has ability to play something out. 2 memory, he can drop. Yeah, there he goes. He drops the option there. And not the best reveals. I think he was hoping for a Jesmon. He might be missing the Jesmon, so he just has to grab the Savior there. I believe that was Savior. Could be wrong. And then he just drops the Huckmon to get an extra body on board, because we are a spam deck. And so we go into the Prince Mamemon here, and now we're ready to bring another body on board. And luckily we hit the Thundermon. We almost whiffed that. Prince lets you look at the top 3 and play 1 with a play cost of 10 or less. So we swing in with the Prince. We check another option card for him, so he gets to continue his searches. And then we decide Prince has a reboot anyway. Thundermon can't swing, so we could potentially swing Chicory and possibly lose him. Yeah, so we go ahead and swing Chicory. 3k, we get the Pagu, and the Pagu effect misses. You see that was a Sword Defeat, which is a white Digimon, not a black Digimon, so that does not come to hand. And then we just go into Mamemon to get the Decoy Mamemon out, because again, we want to be able to preserve our level 6s. And Decoy Mamemon, this night, this tournament, I learned, or I really gained a bigger appreciation for the Decoy Mamemon, because he became clutch this night for this run. And so here we go. We see him drop the Sistermon. He's going to gain a memory back, and then I believe he has... See, I think this is where there's a misplay. I'm not too familiar with a Jesmon deck. I've never actually played it, and I think he missed something because he used the Sistermon, which is supposed to allow you to turn Digivolve into a Royal Knight, and I think he used it to go into Bow Huck, and then he used the reduction options, and there's a lot of confusion on my part on this play. I believe something was not supposed to be evolved there, and then so he's triggering his memory gain stuff. I ask him for some things, but it's a little confusing. And yeah, I'm not 100% sure if any Jesmon players more familiar with the deck might be able to clarify if there was some misplays here, but I was definitely lost. I'm not sure if something was done incorrectly, but we let it slide. He puts us to 1, so we're deciding. We get a Chumon in the back, which would have been handy to have that last turn because he gained some memory back off of that sister play. So we swing with our 2 jammers. He gets a memory tamer out, which is best for us, but we figure he's gonna have a lot of memory. Let's try to slow down some of his board because he could hit pretty hard with the Jesmon. So we drop the Iron Fisted Onslaught to pop his bigger. Unfortunately, those Savior Huckmons were not the same ones. If they were both the same Savior Huckmon, that would have been a much more impactful play because it would have popped them both. But one is a 7 cost, one is an 8 cost, so we're popping obviously the 8 cost, which is the bigger stack, so that's okay. And then he decides to drop the Huckmon here to Evo. I'm having a little trouble keeping track of the memory. So it's interesting that he didn't build in Raising. Guess he had a play that he claims for the memory gain somewhere. So he drops his sister. Now he's got blockers on board. He finally gets a Digimon in Raising, and you see he is now presenting a pretty wide board, which could be a problem. And then I guess he's got another memory gain effect there from playing the Sistermon. honestly, I really need to brush up on the Jesmon effects because there's new sisters and Jesses all the time, and it's just a little confusing. And then he chokes me to 1 by Digivolve and Erasing. So here, we're at 1. We decide, well, he's got 2 blockers, yes, but we've got 2 at jamming that his blockers can't deal with. So we swing 1, swing the other. He's forced to block it, which is fine. We have reboot anyway. And so this is one of those moments where his board is wide. I really need to deal with it. And Mamemon is a gotcha deck, so we're going to risk it here playing the Senbon Dokkan, and we have options. So here we go. So I believe the best is to play, obviously, the one that searches for a tamer and the big Mamemon to have a big boy out in case we get to give something blocker. But now we get to pop 2 things with 6,000. So that Bow Huck and that sister are now gone. We do not see a tamer, and then we just bottom deck everything because we're set up pretty good here unless he can clear 5 security 1 check, which I wouldn't put it past Jesmon. They've got some pretty wonky stuff, and he's got all the memory in the world to work with. So he just plays another Huckmon there. He swings in with the first one, hits a 7k, and then he realizes he forgot to do his when attacking effects, so we let him trigger him here, which lets him grab some sisters, and then he is going to die at the end of the attack because it is under the DP of that Mamemon he hit in security. But you see this Mamemon deck just out of nowhere can explode. Those Senbons in security are huge. And then of course obviously this Senbon was played from hand, which is a pricey play, but it did give me some board clear. I got to remove 2 from his board off of that. If he hits another Senbon, I could possibly pop something. And so we see him go into the Jesmon here, keeping turn, playing out the sister. Now he's got some blocker options, and he is realizing 1 blocker is not going to save him from 5 attacks next turn. So he decides to go for the big boy play here. If I'm not mistaken, we're going to see the GX come down to try to... Oh, he swings with the Huckmon, but then I remind him he just played that one this turn because the other one died. That one was just dropped this turn, so he can't attack with it. So now he's down to his only option, which is to swing in, or to go into the GX. I do not have any blockers because I did not have that inherited effect yet. I have the Mamemon that gives blocker when something's played now, but it wasn't on board. So here we see him put the Ganku underneath, and this is an important thing. That Ganku is going to give his Sistermons plus DP boosts. So he plays another Sistermon out. Now he's got 2 blockers, and they are DP boosted. But this is going to be kind of to the benefit of me now. Those sisters having over 6k DP is actually something that I want because of the decoy Mamemons on deletion effect. So decoy Mamemon, when it's deleted, you can delete something with a play cost of 7 or less. So he's keeping track of all his things. I think his GX is going to swing for 3 checks here, if I'm not mistaken, because he's what he's got in the stack. And we see a Nanimon, or 2 Nanimons hitting security. So now all of a sudden we are 7 wide. So even if he got to spam another sister or 2 here, it is still going to be hard for him to be able to block all of these unless he's able to clear some of my Digimon on board. So he plays another Sistermon here, and then he gets reboot and blocker, so he potentially has 4 blockers against 7 attacks. So this is over, but we decide to go ahead and go in the cheeky play. We swing with Mamemon, who's only 6k, so he dies, but that allows me to go ahead and pop his Sistermon Blanc to remove blocker from the other Sistermon. So we swing a Nani, which is going to get blocked by GX, and Prince is going to take the game for us again. I'm loving the new Mamemon support. Hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay, and hope you join us in the next one.